Hi everyone, once again I'm playing my NBN anti-clock deck and I'm against Prepaid Kate. Now, I played this deck against one of my good friends and I ended up losing very, very badly. That was up against Headlock Reina, Credit Denial Reina that uses Fish Hunters to DRS all my expensive eyes, and Vamp just completely killed me because my celebrity gifts, which is my main economic backbone, simply cannot keep up with Kelly Jones. So unfortunately, I'm not able to make this deck work. I will give it one last shot with Snatch and Grab because that was the main reason why I lost. I lost to a Vamp coming from someone who could load KD up for 3 credits every single turn. He was getting massive Kelly Jones off with like 18, 21 credits, and that is just not acceptable. The problem with my game plan is that I do not have any mechanism to tag the runner if they choose to, if they play carefully. My opponent was very conscientious about clearing tags, and as such, I could never get anything good off. So I'll try one more time, but if it doesn't work, too bad. I don't think this deck will make it. I'm really trying to make this work as a competitively viable deck. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's focus on this game with Prepaid Kate. I get off to a good start with a manhunt and a restructure in my opening hand, so as long as I get to enough credits, I can start making magic happen. And I think that will happen because I have a pet campaign on the floor, and he runs last click into my troll. Alright, that is fine, running last click, because he's able to tutor a mimic in case there's an architect. It's not an architect, it's a troll, but that means that it will fire off regardless, which is pretty good, because if he's running last click, he cannot afford to lose the click to access the server. He is forced to jack out unless he beats the trace, which he does not. So yeah, this is not a very good matchup because basically with my deck, there are only two kinds of matchups: good matchups and bad matchups. Good matchups, the runner has 0 link. Bad matchups, the runner has 1 link, and 1 link really makes Manhunt that much worse. Makes Troll that much worse. It basically renders all my traces less effective. Still, I'm going to play Manhunt because my hand is clear of agendas, and I guess he could perform an indexing or Maker's Eye on R&D. I have no way to end the run on him, but at least I'll do some damage to his economy if he chooses to do so. I guess that's one big weakness of my deck. Most of the NBN eyes don't actually end the run, so when you play Manhunt, you are really begging the runner to use their Maker's Eyes and indexings and legworks just to get rid of the Manhunt, which usually works pretty well. This is one reason why I choose to play with a lower agenda density, even though Project BU, when overscored, has the same agenda point to advancement ratio as your typical 5-3 agenda. Alright, so here I decide to ice up R&D even more, knowing that bad things can happen. Meanwhile, he runs through my HQ, which I'm very happy to entertain because there's a pop-up window there. I'll gain 1 credit from it. And he sees my restructure. There's nothing in my hand worth stealing. And the best thing is he dodged all my Ichis, which is fantastic. You don't really see Ichis coming from NBN, but it's so good in NBN making news. If they don't see it coming, it's going to be all the more effective. So I pass the turn back over to him after installing, I forgot what, Daily Business Show, I believe. Yep, Daily Business Show, and I see 2 of my big eyes. Unfortunately, I can only keep 1 of them. I obviously keep the Toll Wolf because Toll Wolf is awesome. And I quickly realized that my Troll was going to die next turn, so I couldn't do anything. I was forced to trash the Troll. I might have considered purging virus counters there. But in any case, I really want to get my restructure back to... I want to get 10 credits to be able to activate restructure, and I'm pretty close to it right now. I just need to wait for my pet campaign to trickle in the cash. He's not trashing my pet campaign. Alright, so he does take the time out to destroy my DBS and my pet campaign, which is a very good move by him. Trashing both assets in the same turn means that he suffers minimal penalties from the Manhunt. Of course, this actually comes at a cost. He spares my R&D. He didn't run on it last turn, so yes, I actually have the chance to fortify R&D and I immediately do so. I'm not sure what's the ice on R&D, but it's probably something that he can run through easily. So here he performs a very astute late work, knowing that I have agendas in hand. Well, I only have one, and it's tough to steal one, but he's definitely going to take it anyway, because that would erode Manhunt. He has just enough credits for that. Good for him. And yeah, Manhunt, it didn't really do much, but at least it slowed him down for quite a bit. Look at his credit pool right now. He didn't even have enough credits to clear the tax. Well, too bad this deck isn't running any flatline, and I haven't drawn to any close accounts, which would not be very useful here anyway. But I'll just play the next Manhunt and continue on. Now that I'm above the 10 credit threshold, I can start playing my restructures to great benefit. In the meantime, there's nothing he can do except to clear tags, unless he wants to lose to my closed accounts. So yes, what he does here, take 2 credits, clear the tag, and draw a card. Now I draw into my Astro script. So looking at him being on 0 credits, now is the time to score it. I'm definitely worried about Steam Hack right here, but this is one of the few scoring windows I'm going to get. You could argue that it's a misplay on his part to run HQ with so few credits. Even though it erased the Manhunt, I got a new one on board and it gave me a scoring window to get the Astro script out. And sure enough, he does not play a Steam Hack, and I can capitalize on the scoring window to pump out the Astro script. Awesome! Astro Train is leaving the station. Now the Astro Train isn't as good here as in most fast advanced decks because I don't have any breaking news to chain my way to victory. What Astro Script does is allows me to actually feign agendas, as you see me do right here. Here, I'm faking an NAPD contract with a single advancement token. What he doesn't know is that I'm very well prepared to spend an Astro Script token to score this 5-3 agenda. The hardest part about my deck is scoring the 5-3 agenda. If I can score a 5-3 agenda, I'm in very good shape. So anyway, he does attempt to contest my server, and I'll happily res both my Ichi and my Tobu for that. So first, I show him the Ichi, and he really has to break it. He could attempt to eat the Ichi subroutines, but that's really not a good idea. Trash a program is fine. He can lose his SMC. The worst thing is eating the trace subroutine. I guess he could click through the trace subroutine and continue on with the run. Perhaps that's what he should have done. Instead, he tilted up an sharpshooter, which was a huge tax on his credits. That meant that he had to jack out before the next piece of ice, knowing that he had no way to break the next piece of ice, whatever it was. So that allowed me to score my restructured data pool, which is pretty huge. Now I'm on 5 points, so he has to check every single face down remote I play, because it could be the game-winning 3-2 agenda. That's the threat that NBN poses. And as the game goes on, I'll only have the advantage, because now that I have access to restructured data pool's ability, I'm in very good shape. Anytime in the game, I can easily threaten restructured data pool into closed accounts, if I so choose. So he has to be careful about stockpiling too many credits. So I find my NAPD and I decide, why not, just score it right now, put him out of his misery. If he steals it right here, it's not the biggest loss, I wouldn't lose the game, but if he doesn't steal it, that's game for him. So right now I'm basically forcing him to run my server, and he needs to have enough credits to break the Ichi, the toll booth behind it, and pay the 4 credits to steal the NAPD. That's why I love NAPD so much. Will he do it? That is the question. So first, he gambles onto a diesel. Has he found his Steam Hack yet? That is the big question. If he has a Steam Hack, he is almost certainly going to be able to steal the NAPD. That might blow open the scoring window for me, but we'll see. Alright, so he does run. He breaks the Ichi, and I res the toll booth. He's down to 9 credits. I force 3 credits out of him, so that leaves him at 6. What can he do with 6 credits? Nothing. The best he can do is to install the Cyber Cipher on the toll booth and break the toll booth. By then, he's down to 2 credits, which I'm more than happy to see. So definitely, Manhunt has paid off a lot here. All the drip taxes, all the tax that he had to clear, this is the result. He's way too poor to steal my NAPD. And on top of that, because he chose to make it a successful run, I slapped another tag on him with Manhunt. So it wasn't game over yet for him, because I only had 2 credits, I couldn't score the NAPD out, but I mandatorily drew into my red herring, so that basically sealed the game for me. I could install the red herrings on the remote, and there was no way he was going to contest the NAPD this time, having to pay 5 credits to steal the NAPD. That's one reason I like red herring so much. It's so effective in this kind of deck where one of your primary aims is to close the runner's accounts. Suddenly, red herrings becomes a very powerful card. As long as you have a single toll booth or something protecting your red herrings, the runner is not going to be able to steal your agenda the turn after you close the accounts. So knowing he couldn't contest my remote, he could only hit my centrals. So he gives it a shot at HQ, sees nothing. He has a few credits and he attempts to make work, but there's nothing to see here. I was pumping my agendas out as soon as I received them. He's not getting any of them. And that's that. So I can score the final agenda out for the win. So this is a very rare win against Prepaid Kate. Prepaid Kate is usually a huge monster. If Prepaid Kate gets her econ events out very early, I'll have a lot of trouble trying to defend myself. But in this game, it was pretty good because he wasn't able to defuse the manhunts quickly enough, and they really stole a lot of tempo from him. This is how the deck should be played out. Once you get a manhunt on the board, it's very, very taxing to play as the runner. You really don't want to run. And because of that, I think it synergizes so well with subliminal messaging as an economic card. If they run, they are damned because they have to take tax. If they don't run, well, they're just fueling my economy since I get free money from subliminal. So I really love the interaction there, and I'm looking to make it work. As I said, unfortunately, I just got completely schooled by a Headlock Reina deck. That is such a hard counter to my deck in so many ways. I'll try playing Snatch and Grab because Katie Jones is one of my worst enemies. We'll see how that works out. Snatch and Grab is pretty good in making news anyway, so why not play it? Deck space is tight, unfortunately. I'll have to kick something out. We'll think about that. Thanks for watching Happy Net Running. See you around.